cool day because we have just a couple announcements, and then we're going to hear from the potential officers for the exec team next year. And we also have nominations for Member of the Year and Star Award, and we're doing Journal Club today. So cool day. Okay, so just the only thing, great, thank you. The only thing for me is, again, about AOTA conference. You heard this last meeting, so nothing new. But if you are planning to attend one of the Pi Theta events, you need to RSVP to Michelle at this email. It's something we really highly recommend, that we have a good Creighton turnout to represent our chapter. Dr. Lemon will be there too, which will be cool. You can have a friendly face there, and yeah, so please go to that. Gina?
Alright, well, you guys all know that this is tomorrow. Just a couple of things for everyone who's coming to the dinner. If something comes up like within the next 24 hours and you can't go, just shoot me a really quick email, because there are still 2 people who are on the wait list who would like to go. And then there's also I've been getting a lot of emails from practitioners in the last 24 hours, so the room's going to be really full. If you see a practitioner tomorrow who is standing in the back, if one of you all, like as Pi Theta members, could give up your seat for them to sit, I'd really appreciate that. So that's it from me. See you all tomorrow.
Okay, some updates from PHPSG. Their call for nominations for exec positions for PHPSG, and it's really cool to be a member or like a rep for PHPSG. Whatever. But being on the board, I think all of those positions get money for being on the board, so you get paid. So that's pretty cool. So nominations due by tomorrow. And then those elections will be next Tuesday, and you have to be there to vote. So if one of your friends gets nominated, you have to be there to vote for them. I was very hesitant to tell you guys about this because I want to win, but the March Madness Bracket Challenge is free to enter, and there are prizes up to $100 in J-Bucks. So I'm trying to win, but I don't really know what's going on, so you guys can compete with me. And then the spring banquet is Saturday, April 8th, and you must RSVP by March 29th. And that was an email from Paige Mead. If you deleted that by accident, I can forward it to you. My name is Jenna Owen. Just email me. That's my email. And that's it.
Alright, so we have the Star Award coming up, and are you sending this out right after?
Surely.
Okay, so I really need you guys to get on and vote for this, because I'm presenting it tomorrow at the Distinguished Lecture. So, so the Star Award is, like I talked about earlier, we recognize an OT2 who is not a member of Pi Theta for their academic excellence.
Do you have more slides?
I think so. Yeah. Okay, so we have So we have 2 nominees this year, and so Justine. So I'm going to read this really quick, kind of give you a little heads up who she is. So she was nominated by one of the Alaska professors. So Justine exemplifies professionalism and excellence in her academic undertakings in the Alaska program. She strives for excellence in all scholarly undertakings, from physical skills such as transfers to completing data analysis for her group research project. She organizes research meetings, prepares, writes, and edits with detail, and shows passion for disseminating a well-designed scholarly study for the furthering of our profession.
That was a lot of big words.
That was a lot of big words. All right, so there's Justine. It's a little bit about her. How do you... Oh my gosh. Okay, so our next one is Erica. She is an OT2 from campus. So Erica is a quiet leader who brings out the best in her research team. She's intelligent and curious as a scholar, always performing above and beyond what is asked of her. She's organized and diligent in her academic work and uses an ethical lens to discern the best approach to research and academic problem solving. And most importantly, she is creative in her pursuit of knowledge, knowing that there are multiple ways to learn, which will make her a stellar OT and scholar in the future. So stellar.
Whoever wrote that needs the
Dr.
star.
Flecky, yeah. So if you guys could get on and vote, honestly, as soon as this gets out, or the presentation sent out, so that I can get that award ready to go for tomorrow, I'd appreciate it. And that's all.
Okay, so I'm going to send out the link to vote like right now, so you can follow along, because so how this is going to work is we're going to go through each nominee for each position. So we'll go through the position and all the nominees and have them each speak. You can only vote once, I believe, so you'll have to sign in order to vote. Yeah, let's get this party started. Okay, President.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Hello distance people. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie Culver. This is a picture of me and my sister in front of the infamous flame. And backstory, my dad went here 30 years ago and he was just so impressed by all the improvements and different new buildings that came up, so I have a lot of pictures in front of a lot of different statues, and at the time we were not happy about that, but looking back, I'm glad I have this picture now. But anyway, on to the real stuff. I hope to serve as Pi Theta president because honestly I'm just really excited about this club, and I think it's really cool that we're all nationally recognized for our really hard work and our dedication to occupational therapy. So to take you through my all but cheesy and all true statements here, I really love occupational therapy, and I don't think I need to convince any of you that it's the coolest job in the world. And one thing that really grinds my gears is how discounted we are in the healthcare system. I don't know about your experiences, but I've had several comments to me about our job or just playing games and just not taken as seriously as I would hope to be. And actually another backstory, my very best friend is a nurse, and she made the comment, she works in an ICU, and one day she made the comment about how OTs just sit people up at the edge of the bed and they get paid twice as much, and she didn't understand that. Whew, I was enraged by this comment. And if she were my very best friend, I don't know if I could be friends with her anymore, but we are. She got a very respectful and loving lecture about how that's not all we do and how there's a science behind that. And anyway, yes. So I just want, and as we have learned in every single one of our classes, the only way that we're going to be taken more seriously in the healthcare field is by scholarship and research and stuff like that, which is what this club is all about. So that's that. I love Creighton University. Whenever I go home, I think I'm really annoying to all my friends because I talk about it all the time and I wear Creighton stuff all the time. We could have all chosen to just gone to any old school, get our masters, and kind of just lead out an average OT life, but instead we all chose the doctorate pathway, and we chose to come Creighton for a reason, and I don't think that reason was because it was financially reasonable. So we all recognize that we have amazing faculty and staff, and we have just a lot of different resources that other OT schools can only dream about. And we came here with, I'm assuming, pretty lofty goals because we came here in the first place, and I think we all recognize that Creighton would help us achieve those lofty goals. And last but not least, I love all you guys, which sounds really cheesy, but it's true. I think about it all the time, how lucky I am to be surrounded by people who love this profession as much as I do and are just so nice and welcoming and friendly and just OT-esque, I guess is the right word. And I love hearing about all of your reasons why you chose to come here. I love hearing about your goals of the future and what populations you want to work with. So my goal as president would be to really tailor this group to match all of your ambitions for the future. So thank you for your consideration.
Oh, shoot. Okay, Megan.
Hello guys, I am Megan Kibbe. So kind of like Annie was saying, we all have a passion for OT and the people in our program, but kind of beyond that, I've never been president of an organization before, but I feel like a lot of my prior experiences would make me a good candidate for this position. I was in a sorority I was in college for 3.5 years. So for 3.5 years, and I was the ritual chair for one of those, meaning that I planned the induction ceremony, and we initiated 90 members, and there were 200 other women there as well. We were a really large chapter, so I was in charge of planning everything for them and also working with booking the room and getting all the supplies that was needed. So I talked to Maxine, and she said a big part of this role is to work on the process of getting those new members and contacting and also planning the ceremony, which I think I would be well equipped to handle. And then also, I like the idea of being able to work with the incoming OT1s who are going to be a part of this organization and making sure that they understand what we're about and they get passionate about their research projects and the further, just involvement of OT in practice. And I'm currently an ambassador for the OT class, so I work on the interview days, and I feel like a lot of the people who are going to be in this organization might already know my face, and I hope that that would have been a good experience for them in that process. I think that's just kind of it. I'm just kind of ready to step up a little bit, be a leader for this next year, if you'll let me.
Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a GHOST student. I guess part of the reason I'm running for president is the research focus of Pi Theta. I've always been really passionate about research, and I think that I would do a good job of encouraging new students to get involved in that as well. I really want to promote the organization to all the new incoming students. We're all super passionate about OT, and I think it would be good to talk to them. This is very outside of my comfort zone. I'm not like a great public speaker, so I think being able to lead meetings would really help me grow in that way, like Maxine had mentioned. So I have a lot of ideas with collaborating with different students and different chapters to try and like do the most that we can as an organization collectively. So that's really it. I don't have a nice big long one. Okay.
Short and sweet.
Janae.
Okay, hello, my name's Janae. I just really want to be part of Pi Theta because I think it's a really unique and special organization. Obviously, everyone's really interested in scholarship and leadership and research and just advancing education, and I think being part of such a unique organization helps us really develop our skills to be able to practice evidence-based therapy one day. And so I really just want to help run this organization smoothly. Acting as treasurer for our class, I think I've been able to see the different positions and kind of what it takes for each position. So I really would like to act as president because I could help every position, and I just think it's a really great organization to be part of. So I think that's all I have.
Okay, CJ.
Hi guys, I'm CJ. I just like to say ditto to what everybody has said to keep mine short and sweet. I do have previous experience serving as a chapter president of my sorority, so I know how to lead an executive team, I know how to plan meetings, I know how to plan events and execute them successfully, and I feel like I could bring those leadership skills to a president position in this organization. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Who's in your photo?
Oh, that's my boyfriend Connor. He's really nerdy, but I love him so much.
Okay, Chelsea.
Hi guys, so I'm Chelsea, and I am running for this position just because I think it would be a great opportunity for me to help encourage others to be as passionate as we are about scholarship and occupational therapy, and I think it would be a great chance for me to enhance my leadership skills. I'm pretty organized and I am a great team member and so I would really enjoy the opportunity to encourage others to join this great organization, as well as work close with others on the team and keep everybody within our club informed.
Okay, we're moving on to Vice President now, so Julie.
Okay, hi, I'm Julie, for those of you that don't know me, and I went to undergrad at Down College, which, if you're not from here, you probably have never heard of it before, but because it's super small, but I loved it because I was able to be involved with about 8 different organizations, and I was never vice president for any of the organizations, but I did serve positions and on executive boards that would be similar to the responsibilities as vice president. I was in charge of organizing the rush week and planning up to it, and then mentoring the new pledge class afterwards in my sorority. And the main person I worked with that would be the president. And then I was also a volleyball captain for Down College, both my junior and senior year. So also kind of has the vice president-president relationship. I really want to be vice president because, again, I love the responsibilities of it. The distinguished lecturer in particular. I was the student aide for our school nurse, and so I organized 3 different blood drives, so that required a lot of reaching out to the Red Cross as well as the regional or communal hospital, and just getting volunteers for that and promoting that as well. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
CJ, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay. CJ is also a candidate. Awesome. Okay, Shelby.
So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Shelby Surmeyer, and I just want to start off by saying it's a really great privilege that we're all in this club, and so I think holding a leadership position in it is something that's pretty special. So I decided to run for vice president because it'll help me develop leadership skills. I love to plan events. For those of you that don't know, I'm a very organized person, and I like to be way ahead of tasks. So I think for trying to run the distinguished lecture and figure that out, I think that's why I chose that position. I also have experience in leadership through being on a judicial committee for my sorority. I was also president of the pre-occupational therapy club at my undergrad university, along very involved in other philanthropic activities.
Okay, moving on to secretary. Megan, do you want to say anything or ditto to what you said before? Cool. Okay, so Megan and CJ. So those are your secretary candidates. Okay, treasurer, Katie.
Hi guys, for those that don't know me, I'm Katie Atkins. And just to kind of like what everyone else is saying, I just really want to be a part of this group because I think it's a really great organization and it's an opportunity to get into the leadership roles. Just from past, I've been captain of track team, so I kind of have that. I was a supervisor for work, I've been a secretary, and I've been a vice president for different organizations. I haven't been treasurer, but I feel like having that other background experience will help me work really well with the other exec members, as well as I'm a really big organization person, and then I also like to budget, so I feel like it fits pretty well.
Megan. Oh my gosh, sorry.
Hi guys, my name's Megan. I did undergrad here at UNO in Omaha, and there I held a lot of leadership positions. I was president of the Spanish club, vice president of
my exercise science organization, and I was secretary of the WeSTEM, which is Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, and we basically like revamped that entire program. It was kind of like a dead program when we started, and we built it back up. So I've had a lot of leadership positions and reaching out, but I've never been treasurer. So I'd like to continue those leadership opportunities here in OT school, and I think treasurer would be fun, and I'm organized and responsible, so I think it would be a good fit. Thanks.
Okay, PHPSG rep, Megan.
Did you just get married?
In June.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm Megan Dibble. Thank you. I would really like to just be involved in this committee, or in this club, I guess, and I really would like to help ease communication between us and PHPSG. I was a therapy aide full-time in a hospital, and there I had to communicate a lot between me and the nurses and the PTs, OTs, just a lot of like interprofessional communication and care, and so I think that really helps me in my communication between us and the club and the other clubs. So, thank you.
Okay, Claire.
Hi guys, I'm Claire. So the current PHPSG rep is my big, so I just want to follow in her footsteps. And this picture is just kind of to show what I said was my appreciation for ADLs even at a young age. Okay, so in the past, leadership. Grade school, I was in student council. My campaign speech was, "Don't be square, vote for Claire." So yeah, you can keep that in your brain too. And then also I was on the exec board for Relay for Life here at Creighton. So I kind of just want to be a part of PHPSG because like keeping you guys informed of what's going on around campus, getting involved in some other things like that. And when I was doing the Relay for Life, I did a lot of like talking, kind of like informing people what's going on, what roles they needed to do, and kind of thing. But I just kind of like to continue my leadership experience and play a more active role in this organization. So thank you.
Okay, historian, Annie.
Hello, it's me again. So ditto to everything I said for my president's speech, but I would like to add that as a historian, it's important to share with everyone what we've been doing in order to make positive differences and to show what OT can do. I also pride myself in good angles and witty captions, so I will never take a bad picture of you and post it because that's mean. I will always have a good angle for you. And there's something else I wanted to say, but I forgot what it was. Okay, we'll just leave it at that then. I forgot. Thank you.
Okay, Bailey.
Where was your photo taken?
My picture was in Mexico, which was last summer's, and I didn't do anything over spring break, so I'm just kind of having withdrawal from the beach and sun and everything. So I thought that was a perfect fit. But I'm Bailey, for those of you who don't know me. And I went to undergrad here at UNO. I was a student athlete for softball, and I was on the Unity Council, so I was a captain for our team my junior and senior year. And my fiance and I love to travel, and we have like a professional camera, and so we take pictures of everything. So if you follow me on Facebook, you'll get overloads of pictures all the time. So we love to take pictures and capture all the moments that we've had, so I think it would be a perfect fit for me to capture all of the hard work that you guys do at Pi Theta and to share that with everybody else in the community as well. I also think it would be awesome to integrate my knowledge with AOTF and all the other communities around here, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm really on top of things, so I feel like I have really good communication skills, and so I just think this would be a perfect fit for me. Thanks.
Okay, distance liaison, Lindsay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm running for this position because I think it's a great opportunity to become more involved. And I've never held a leadership role before, but I've played sports and I've worked a lot of jobs that have required leadership type roles. So I think this is a great opportunity to grow my skills in leadership. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, Morgan.
I'm Morgan, for you guys that don't know me, and I feel like everybody used nice pictures of their face, and then there's me in Colorado over break just hanging out. Even though I'm not a distance student myself, I would like to run for a distance liaison because I think that being on campus we tend to take for granted how easy it is for us to get involved in things, and that those other students in Alaska and Colorado and even the GO students deserve the same opportunities as much as possible. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm really organized. If you've ever been in a group with me, I'd probably apologize for how quickly I send emails and how often. So I think that my organization skills and then being president, vice president, and secretary and a social media rep in undergrad for different things, I have technology and written communication skills that will be good to talk to all of the different cohorts. I thought that was gonna be it.
Thank you. Katie?
Okay, back again. So I am a distance student, and I think I've kind of realized that it can be hard to communicate to all the different cohorts, and being a student, you kind of realize what the easiest way to get information out is and to get people involved, because some people live really, really far away, and then you have Regis in Alaska, and just to make sure they have opportunities there just as much as we do here to be involved in the organization is really important. I did a lot of distance education undergrad as well, so I have a lot of experience with trying to communicate with professors and do all these different things so far away. So I think I could come up with a lot of creative ideas to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity to be part of such a great organization.
Okay, Go Rep. Kendra just emailed me saying she was having car problems, so I'm going to read her little paragraph. And I'm going to start by saying she's a really cool girl. She's a Go student. And she would like to run because she values academic success and would like to take part in the leadership team. She's running so that all Go members remain active within the org and so that all voices are heard. Pretty cool. Okay, Kendra, gotcha. Awesome. She's it for that. So Regis, we do not have anyone running for this position. So to be in this position, you have to be a Regis student. It's a similar role to the Go Rep. It's a cool way to get involved with the campus community and here with us in Omaha. So on the link, if you know any Regis students or Regis students, if you want to nominate yourself, please feel free to write yourself in. Cool. Okay, so that's it for officers. So this is for Member of the Year, which usually are OT2s. So we're just going to show you the names. They're going to just stand up so you guys know them. And yeah, so to vote for this, it's on the same link as the officer nominees. Cool. So we have Maggie Barsetti, which I don't think she's here today. Awkward. Michaela Miller. Awesome. Maureen Turner, Mo Turner. And then Brooke Wiggin, who is also not here. Okay, so this is really, really cool. This is a cool award because it's given at the spring banquet. It really just kind of shows our appreciation to that one member who really stands out and really represents who we are as Pi Theta. It's a really big honor, and this is something if you want to talk to the nominees after, or if you already know them, that's awesome. Just kind of vote from your heart with this one.
Round of applause for nominees.
Yes, great.
This is for you, Will.
Okay, so it's super important that everyone votes just to take part in the democratic process. So everything that you're voting for is on one link. So officers, Member of the Year, and Star Award should all be on there. Star Award is super important to vote for ASAP because you're presenting tomorrow, right, Erin? Yep. But, so if you haven't already filled out the link, but you have the link now. Also, everything else should be voted by this Friday so we can inform everyone who won. Cool. Okay, lastly on our docket is Journal Club with Brianne presenting.
Hello, I'm Brianne. I'm in the GO pathway. I'm going to talk a little bit about my research project with my fellow group members, and it's almost completed, so that's exciting. And we had a few bumps in the road, so hopefully you'll learn from us and our mistakes. Our research project is called The Attitudes and Perceived Consequences of Occupational Therapists in the Use of Physical Restraints in Long-Term Care Facilities. And my group members are Linny and Sandy, who are super amazing, and our mentor was Dr. Sheeran. So just a little bit of background about restraint use. The Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1987 put out federal guidelines to reduce the use of restraints, but it is still used quite a bit. Some of the research that we found was anywhere from 17 to 40% of long-term care facilities use restraints. There wasn't a lot of updated research about that. And then there's been a lot of research about the health consequences of using restraints. That can be lower cognitive performance, decreased performance in ADLs, higher likelihood of depression, and an increased fall risk. So as occupational therapists, we are key to reducing restraint use. We are, in our programs, ethics is just a big part of it, and we are all educated about that, and it's part of AOTA, all of that stuff. So we also have a lot of intervention ideas, and we're creative, so we can always come up with new things to make sure that if there's certain undesirable behavior that we can redirect clients, usually with meaningful activities. And then we also have the resources to educate our fellow staff members at our facilities, other health professions, and then family and clients as well.
Okay, it's just lags a little.
Okay, so previous research about restraint use with OTs is basically non-existent. But there has been a lot of research on the perceptions and feelings of restraints with nurses, also with patients and with family members. But pretty much no research with OTs. And since we are so big, we have so many resources to reduce them, it's kind of interesting that there is no research out there. So the current research that we're trying to do is address the attitudes and perceptions of OTs on physical restraint use, identify alternative methods and or treatment interventions available in place of physical restraints, and then our hypothesis was that OTs would have a negative attitude towards restraint use. So we used the PRUQ, which is the Perceptions of Restraint Use Questionnaire. It was developed by two professors, Strumpf and Evans at Penn State, I believe, and they did this survey with nurses. So it's been a lot of research with nurses doing this questionnaire. So we got permission from the authors. We did a Blue Q survey. We did everything the same except for we changed the demographics so that it would fit for OT. To participate in the study, they had to be full-time, part-time, or PRN practitioners, had to work in long-term care facility for a year, and it could be an occupational therapist or an OTA. So we did a convenience sample, and we sent 572 surveys out, and we got 37 returned. And I'll talk a little bit about the sampling process and a little bit how that was a bump in the road. So there was 33 OTs and 4 OTAs. So the survey had 17 questions, and it was a Likert scale of 1 to 5, 1 meaning restraints were not at all important, and 5 was meaning they were most important, and 3 being somewhat important. So the results of our survey, the average age was about 40 years. We had an age range of 27 to 62 years, 36 females, 1 male. and the mean number of years working in the long-term care facility was about 7. The range of years working, we had anybody from a new practitioner to highly experienced practitioners. And then we also had a question on there about specialized education in geriatrics, and 9 people did. At the end of the survey, we had an open-ended question asking them to talk about alternatives that they would use for restraint use. And we used a matrix of behavioral interventions that was part of the PRUQ. And we found 142 alternatives. Many overlapped, but we subdivided them into categories, and I'll show you that on the next page. So the categories were physiological, psychosocial, activity, and environmental alternatives. Most people, the most common alternatives were sensory aids, reevaluating current medication, increased supervision such as sitters, increased staffing, and family involvement, participating in meaningful activities, crafts, exercises, alarms, low beds, floor mats, and protective sleeves. So we obviously have a lot of good ideas about how to reduce these restraints, and I'll talk about further research about including that. But over on the left is our chart for the Likert scale that from the PRUQ, and at the top, that's where people rated the mean, which is like 3 being somewhat important of restraint use. So the question that was asked was, how important do you believe the use of physical restraints are for each reason listed? So for preventing breaking open sutures, people thought it was somewhat important, and then that's going down the list. So the least important was substituting for staff observation. Most of the most important things had to do with medical equipment and stuff like that. So, but some of the interesting things we found was protecting staff from combativeness. I think we were a little surprised that people thought that was somewhat important to have restraints, and for protecting from falling out of a chair, because we know we should not restrain people in a chair. So that was interesting. So basically this was just the first of its kind research about attitudes and perceptions. Really we could get into further research, and that's what we kind of want to do. We want a larger sample size and area, so this was just Nebraska, OTs, Douglas, and Sarpy County. So that's not including anybody else in Nebraska or other states, and we would like to have a obviously larger sample size to see how other people in other states may be doing things differently. And then we want to see what the barriers to reducing the restraints are. I think that's the biggest thing. So we have all these ideas about the interventions, but what is keeping OTs from implementing those? It would be interesting to know the frequency of restraint use in each facility, and most importantly, the difference in function and occupational performance if these clients are having physical restraints for long periods of time. And then finally, more education. So can we learn from each other for possible alternatives to restraint use? Is somebody doing a program somewhere that's really working well? Can we have more education for staff members at the facilities, things like that. So finally, our limitations. So we had a small sample size. We got our information from the DHHS, and that was just a list of all the OTs in Douglas and Sarpy County, and it did not come with where they worked. So basically, we had such a high sample, we had to send out to everybody, but really, I don't know if it shows how many people actually were working in long-term care facilities. So it'd be nice to be able to target that area. We were originally going to have a focus group, but unfortunately, nobody wanted to come. So we had to cancel that, but it would have been really interesting to see more about why they put what they did on the Likert scale, so why they think things are somewhat important, more important, or least important, and maybe some of the barriers too. So that would have been really cool, but unfortunately, time limits, we could not do it. And then also for survey difficulties, if you guys are using BlueQ, a few things that would help you out, I think. Make sure that every question is being forced to be answered, because otherwise you'll have missing data, which we had a lot of problems with. So we had to throw out a lot of good answers, but just because they didn't have a couple of questions filled out. So that was unfortunate, so make sure you do that. Also, we had difficulties with the emails. Make sure you blind CC your emails, otherwise you'll get in trouble with IRB. So don't do that. And that's about it.
Alrighty, super interesting. Cool. Okay, that ends our meeting. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to vote for Star Award especially, but everything by Friday at noon. And our next meeting is April 26th, same room, same time.